response to repeated requests for an interview with Shivendra Silva, so I went to see him anyway. Good morning, Major General. My name's Jonathan Miller from Channel 4 News.
Yeah.
Sir, you're accused of war crimes. Can I ask what your response is to this, please?
Me?
Yes.
That is by some people.
Well,
maybe it is the people who are the LTT and the people who are really involved, who are supporting LTT.
But Major General, with respect, one of your officers has told us directly that you were ordered by Gotabaya Rajapaksa to execute surrendering Tamil tigers, and that's exactly what happened, isn't it?
Can you exactly tell me if somebody has told you that some senior officer? Can you tell me the name of the officer who had told like that?
Of course I cannot tell you the name, sir, with
then
respect, but
you have to ask from that officer, because no such thing has happened.
I'm coming to you because it's soldiers under your command who are accused of these things, accused of rapes, accused of killing civilians, women and children, accused of covering evidence.
It is Channel 4, and only you have narrated, and you are the only one who is accusing. No one else is accusing us.
It's not me making the accusation, sir, with respect. You are the one. It's this officer that was under your command has told us directly of these accusations.
You are the only one who is accusing, and your channel, okay?
There is prima facie evidence that crimes against humanity and grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions were committed. They were committed through the principle of command responsibility, directed by both military and civilian leaders. All of this is sufficient in now triggering a responsibility by the international community to bring to justice, to investigate, and if need be, bring to justice these individuals who have committed these most heinous crimes.
The Sri Lankan government wants to move on, denying all charges. Sri Lanka's Tamils say they can't move on until there's justice. This year has seen Colonel Gaddafi indicted and General Mladic put on trial in The Hague. But in Sri Lanka, there has been no reckoning. Yet the evidence keeps piling up.
Well, Jonathan Miller's with me here in the studio. We saw you doorstep the Major General, but what about his boss, the man who really gave the orders, the Defence Secretary, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa?
Well, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, I spoke to him directly on the telephone, and he denied privately to me all of the allegations that I put to him and those that were contained in this film. It's got to be said, though, John, it's quite clear to me that the government in Sri Lanka, the three brothers who run this country, are seemingly increasingly rattled by the persistence of these allegations. And they follow this UN report in April, which said that there were credible allegations of war crimes which must be investigated.
And perhaps one of the most remarkable developments is this speech last night from the former president of Sri Lanka, a Sinhalese woman, who really does take a very strong, really supportive role of what we have found.
Yes, this is Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, who's better known as CBK in Sri Lanka. She made a speech over the weekend, actually, John, it was on Sunday night, to an invited group in Colombo itself, in which she broke ranks with the political elite. Now, this is a very significant thing. She's a Sinhalese political leader, and she spoke particularly and specifically of her shock and her horror and that experience by her son and her daughter on watching the Channel 4 documentary, Sri Lanka's Killing Fields.
I shall remember till the end of my days the morning recently when my 28-year-old son called me, sobbing on the phone, to say how ashamed he was to call himself a Sinhalese and Lankan. After seeing on the UK television a 50-minute documentary called The Killing Fields of Sri Lanka, which I also had the great misfortune of seeing.
Well, it's very courageous, but where does this all go?
Well, it was courageous of her, John, because you know this is a country in which the Rajapaksa regime does not tolerate dissent. But as I say, the allegations keep mounting up. And the UN report is what to watch now. It's up to the Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, to recommend to the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva that they now take up this report, which his panel of experts has produced and which recommends that those allegations be further investigated.
Jonathan Miller.